Great wall of prophecy, reveal to us God's will that we may blindly obey.
Free us from thought and responsibility.
We shall read things off you.
Then do them.
Your words guide us.
We're dumb.
Hey YouTube, time for another episode of Beer and Bullshit. I'm a little disgusted today, and it's kind of hard to make this episode, but I felt as though I had to, because I was driving home from helping a friend of mine move some appliances and stuff, and listening, as I often do, to American Family Radio with Brian Fisher. And it was so disgusting I had to come right on and make a video about it. So I don't have a video clip of him in here, but I'm sure it'll be up on the web before too long. But what Fisher was promoting was that people go to a website, which I will not promote by giving their address here, to sign a petition to defund Obamacare, as they call it, in order to make sure that poor people can't get health insurance. That's what it amounts to. Let's not allow people who need health care to get it, because after all, we all know Jesus was against healing the poor. He didn't care about the sick and the lowly and the poor and the worst. He cared more about making sure that everybody got to keep every penny they ever earned. So, putting that aside, because we know that was Jesus' message, I was pretty disgusted by this whole thing. But if that wasn't bad enough, as if these so-called Christians trying to make sure that poor people couldn't get decent health care, they went to commercial. The commercial was all about divorced people. And they had this divorced man, or actor playing a divorced man, talking about how he didn't understand how he could be a part of the church anymore. Because, of course, that's against the Bible. As it says in Mark 10:2 through 12, and some Pharisees came up to him, testing him, and began to question him whether it was lawful for a man to divorce his wife. And he answered them and says, "What did Moses command you?" And they said, "Moses permitted a man to write a certificate of divorce and send her away." But Jesus said to them, "Because of your hardness of heart, he wrote this commandment. But from the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. For this cause, a man shall leave his father and mother, and the two shall become one flesh. Consequently, they are no longer two, but one flesh. What therefore God has joined together, let no man separate." And in the house the disciples began questioning him about this again. And he said to them, "Whoever divorces his wife and marries another woman commits adultery against her. And if she divorces her husband and marries another man, she is committing adultery." Or Luke 16:18, where it simply says, "Everyone who divorces his wife and marries another commits adultery. And he who marries one who is divorced from a husband commits adultery." So their Bible specifically says you cannot get divorced and remarry or be with another woman or man. And yet their advertisement was all about how good it is if you're divorced to ask for forgiveness and then go on to become the husband and father that you wish you had been. They don't mention women because, of course, we know they don't give a crap about women. So we have them on the one hand begging people to sign a petition to avoid doing something that Jesus specifically said was a good thing, which is to heal the sick. And on the other hand, recruiting from a pool of people that Jesus specifically said were adulterers, which, for those of you who don't know, is a stoning offense in the Bible. If this doesn't make it clear how their entire ministry is about making money. I don't know what else could be. I don't believe any of this stuff. But if you pretend to believe it, then you have to look at what the Bible says, and you have to realize that fighting universal health care while recruiting adulterers under the Bible code is evil. These people are evil. And I'm sorry this video wasn't any better. It's very much off the cuff. I just came in and I was so angry I had to make it. So I hope it doesn't disappoint you guys too much. And I hope that you will look at it, check out the Bible, see what it says, and tell me if I'm right or wrong. Seems to me I'm right. But who knows? I could be the one full of bullshit. But anyway, for this week, thanks for watching Beer and Bullshit. Sorry I was such an angry, disgruntled prick this week. Goodbye.